right, get to work, get to work. I'll be watching you with hawk eyes this whole time, okay? I am not in the mood to tell you that again, as your one job as the younger wife in this house is to get all the chores done, even while everyone else is here.
Get to work? But there's nothing left for me to do now. I've cleaned up all the dishes and there isn't anything else to vacuum now. I've gone through all the house and wiped down all the tables, and have gone up to every window and sprayed them and cleaned them in order to let the most light through them. I went and swept the stairs for you, as well as cleaned the kitchen floor and took out all the trash.
Have you gotten around to doing the laundry and all of that?
I finished with the laundry a little while ago. You can even see that everything is all folded up and put into our rooms to be placed away later. And I made sure to change the sheets on the sofa as well. So at this point, there is really nothing left for me to clean or do for you. I can't even think of another thing I could work on that would make any sense at this point.
Are you sure that's how you want to end things? All of the family will be coming here really soon, and you have to make a name for yourself by making this place look spectacularly clean. If there's one thing that they spot and comment on, I'm going to make sure you take responsibility for it. Will you be able to do that? It'll be a lot of pressure, and a lot of these people are much more strict than even I am.
Then can you go around and do a quick look over for me to see if there's anything I missed? That way we can both be on the same page about the cleanliness here and I won't have to be too worried anymore.
Huh? Does that mean you're not going to be able to take responsibility for yourself? That's what it sounds like to me. Do you not have the confidence where you need me to come around and check everything for you? That is not my job to be doing. You should be more than capable of cleaning and doing chores in this house without having someone like me come around and spot check all your work.
All right, but this is how things always go with you, Jennifer. I ask you to check things for me first so that we can avoid conflicts later, but instead you don't bother to help by doing that, so at some point you can complain about me. It's not that I'm saying you want me to mess up on purpose, but it sure does seem like that way sometimes.
Then, if you don't want me to complain about you anymore, do a better job at cleaning what I've asked you to clean. If you can do that for me, then you might actually end up being a good wife for my son.
Are you serious?
I'll have you know that I've been to over 100 different kinds of high-end hotels, and have always made comments about the cleanliness of them. So, if you can get me to not say a single word about your cleaning, then that means you are doing better than over 100 different hotels are. That should make you happy, right?
What? Over 100 different hotels. Complaining that much about all of their cleanliness just makes you look more like a stuck-up snob than anything else.
You're a real pain in my butt. I think I'm going to have to raise you again, since your parents seem to have failed at that. Unlike women nowadays, back when I was first becoming my husband's wife, my mother-in-law pushed me so hard to make sure that I'd be perfect at everything. And now, having to see this new generation of wives has left me shocked. I can't believe that all of you just want to sit around all day doing everything so sloppily around the home.
We aren't trying to sit around all day doing nothing, though. At least I'm not trying to.
I know you all are. I've seen it with my own eyes time and time again. Especially you, Morgan. So I'm going to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up, all right? So be ready. It will not be easy, and I'm going to be honest and say that you will cry even more now with me working on you than when you were a baby.
But listen, what's with you putting up that camera in the living room to watch over me all the time? That right there shows me that you're taking this way too far. You're trying to make it really hard for me to have any time to take a break and relax.
You have no right to be allowed a break time in this house. When you are here, you have to work every second of the day, making sure the place is spotless and smells like nothing besides detergent. You will not stop working. I'll make sure of it, you useless woman.
Useless woman.
Morgan, are you doing all right? I just realized that it looks like you've been working all day to clean. How about you take a moment to sit down and relax a little?
Ah, Selina. Thank you so much for asking about how I'm doing. but unfortunately for me, I'm not able to take any time off for a break. I was told that I'm a useless woman. And so if I stop doing the chores here, I'll be done for.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, there's a lot that's gone into it, but just be aware that for the time being, I can't take any breaks, as it would not end well for me. I'm happy to see that you've noticed me working a lot, but I'm afraid it's going to have to stay this way today.
Does this mean that Jennifer said something to you that's made you act like that? I know that woman well, and this all seems like something she'd do.
It was something she told me. She told me this is to help retrain me and that this was for my own good so that I can remain a part of this family.
I see. That woman sure is a thing for making sure everyone is the perfect wife for their husband. She's way too old, though, for her to not be embarrassed by the way she acts. Well, listen, Morgan, you don't have to worry about a word that woman says to you, and you can take as many breaks as you'd like.
What? Are you sure about that? But...
You've already put in so much work getting all this cleaning done, so it'd be wrong of us to continue to make you work into the afternoon. I'd like you to take a seat with all of us and talk about yourself a little. After all, everyone's come here today to relax and chat.
All right. Thank you so much for checking up on me. It really helps me out a bunch.
By the way, have you brought any of what's been going on here up with Isaiah? Told him about how Jennifer is trying to work you way too hard? I'm sure he'd have something to say to his own mother, knowing what things she's done to you already.
Not yet. There hasn't been anything yet between her and I that would make me go to him about it yet. Also, Isaiah is in the middle of a couple of projects for work, so he doesn't have time to focus on this. And I don't want to get him all worried about what's going on here with his mom when he needs to be there.
You say that, but I feel as though he seems really worried about you and what you've been up to under the influence of your mother-in-law. I'm sure he realizes that something is up with you. So I really believe that you should bring this all up with him for once.
Of course. You are correct about what my Jennifer has been doing to me today, and that she has gone a little overboard with it. I will plan on bringing things up with him, or at least doing something that will really get his attention then.
Oh, is that right? I guess I didn't think you'd be willing to try and get his attention after saying you didn't want to disturb him. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I think that you'll be able to do all right then.
I think so too. So please, don't worry too much about me, and trust that I'll be able to handle all of this in one way or another. Go ahead and get back to chatting with everyone else now.
Thank you. I think I will then, but I'll make sure to watch and see how things go for you. You? Where the hell have you gone? Hurry up right now and get back here and get more work done. Plates are beginning to pile up in the sink.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Huh? The hospital? You're not some kind of nurse, right? You're a housewife that needs to stay in the home. Why did you think it was important of you to go to this hospital at a time like this?
Even if I'm not a nurse or anything like that, when I'm not doing well, I have the right to go to a hospital, correct? So, let me explain what's happened. I happened to bleed a ton when you hit me in the head with that dinner tray and have to go to the hospital to get myself checked out. Are you happy to have your explanation now?
Huh? Why would there ever be any blood coming out of your head? I barely even hit you.
Are you kidding? Take a look at the gosh dang sofa that I was sitting on, please. There's blood all over it still, right?
And that's evidence of why it's not okay for you to be sitting on any sofa at all, right? You are a housewife and have work left to do, so there's no way I was going to allow you to slack off.
What is so bad about me taking a second to sit on the sofa? And it's not even like I was sitting down in the same room as all the rest of the people, right?
A wife like you has no right to even a millisecond of sitting time. I already told you all of this before, right? Another thing, why were you showing all of the guests today to that other room in the house? It's because of you showing them to the room all the way on the other side of the house that they've made my job harder by being so far away from the kitchen.
I just assumed since that other room had a much more relaxed vibe to it, it'd be easier on everyone and they wouldn't have to continue sitting on that old couch in the living room.
Well, you made work on yourself only grow even more by doing something like that, right? I've had enough of this, so get your butt back to the house. I need you back here working right now.
Why are you being so strict with your son's wife like this?
I'm doing all this for your sake, that's why. Back when I was your age, I had the same thing happen between myself and my mother-in-law, who worked me very hard.
Are you talking about Selina?
That's right. I was given the most strict upbringing by her that any wife has ever had on this planet. And that's why I'm going to make you work as hard as I was forced to.
So this is what all that hard work was about? It's because of your own past that you decided to hit me outside the head with a dinner tray and make me bleed?
Shut up. This all has to do with you always being a frickin' brat talking back to me like you have any say. You are worse than any other housewife I've known. Why did my sweet little boy have to end up marrying such a useless woman like you? Now get your butt back to this house. I'm going to make you work as all wives are supposed to.
I told you it's not going to happen now. I'm in the hospital at the moment to get my head taken care of. Also, why would I ever want to go back to some place where the person who assaulted me is at?
You think that I assaulted you just then? Stop being so overdramatic. I had to make sure to reset your brain after you thought it was a good idea to take a break while you were cleaning and catering to my friends and family. What the hell do you think you're doing going to a hospital after getting hit in the head with a simple tray? Well, now it's your turn, right? Huh? Hello, Jennifer. I had a good look at the moment you took that tray and swung it into Morgan's head a little bit ago. Oh, did you? But that's just the way I chose to handle things. I'm not going to listen to anything more from her about being such a victim to my way of treating her. So just understand that, please. All right, then. Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it anyway. Now, the next time we're all coming over will be in 2 weeks, right? I'll see you all again then. Wait, what are you doing? Why do you think you have to punch me now? You want to know why? Because you decided to sit down with the rest of us when you were the wife of this house. I'm the wife, but from my point of view, you are a younger wife than me in this house, therefore you don't get to have any time to take any breaks. You have to work all the time to clean the place up and serve everyone, right? And so far you've only shown that you're a useless woman. So tell me why you thought it was a good idea to sit on the sofa like that? Oh, wait, that's because… Are you going to try and tell me that punching you would be taking things too far? That's pretty bold of you to say when just a couple of weeks ago you sent your daughter-in-law to the hospital after hitting her in the head with a dinner tray. Well, I didn't do that in front of everyone. I made sure to do that in a place where none of you guys could see it happen. And that's because you knew if you did something as ridiculous as that in front of everyone else, they'd have some awful things to say about you, right? Well, that's right? After all, you did hit her in the head with a darn dinner tray. And you know that no matter what reason you may have had for that, the rest of us would not forgive you for it, right? You have no right to be saying things like this about me. And here we go again with that horrible attitude of yours. You really have me thinking once again about your actions. It's like you're back to that same old toxic woman from back in the day. Shut up! You were the one that treated me like crap when you started to train me to be a good wife. You wanted to make sure that a young wife like me back then would be perfect, and that's why you treated me so poorly at the house. I'm not going to let you say you forgot about all of that. So you are trying to say that the reason you're treating Morgan so poorly is because that's the way you were treated by your mother-in-law back in the day? That's exactly right. That's a fact. Well, I don't ever remember treating in any way what was unfair or justified back then. I only happened to tell you that you were making mistakes and that you were wrong from a mother's perspective. Nope, you absolutely did not do that. You tried to abuse me back then in order to do everything you'd ask of me. It's probably because of all that stress you had that you'd pick fights with me and bully me. Well, you would go out and spend the family credit card on things that were only meant for yourself and without anyone's permission. And you'd use your husband's company's money to take yourself to all kinds of high-end hotels for weeks, right? You were one of the worst wives ever back then. This has nothing to do with what's going on right now. I think it has every bit of a connection to what's been going on here. You happened to go against everything the family asked you to stop doing back then. What you were doing was laced with problems and it had to stop. That's the reason for everything that happened after, right? Have you still not come around to accepting that yet? Ugh! You're so annoying! I was still young back then, so stop trying to put all the blame on me for what happened back then. And Morgan is the same age now, just about, that you were back when that was all going on, right? I can't do this anymore. I told you to shut up because you're being so annoying right now. An old witch like you needs to shut the hell up already. Ugh. Jesus Christ, you've fallen right back to where you started. You don't think that you can get away with things now just because you've become friends with that old witch. I promise you I'll destroy that old witch if that's what you really want to see, and then I'll have you trapped with nowhere left to run.
Destroy her.
I mean exactly what I said there. Did you know that she hit me in the head with a tray as well now? And she did that in front of all the family and friends that were gathered here. So I will take her to court and sue her butt.
What? But Jennifer, you did the exact same thing to me a little while back, right? Do you think it's okay that you're the only one allowed to do things like that?
I was doing it as a way to get you to stop messing around, but that old witch only did it as a way of picking on me in front of everyone.
Your way of getting me to stop? I'm sorry, but that's not the way I saw it when you hit me so hard you lacerated my head! So if you really are going to be suing Selina over this, then I'm going to sue you for hitting me in the head!
Excuse me, what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, you've been talking about this the whole time, right?
Well, listen, miss. Do you even have evidence of me hitting you in the head with any dinner tray?
Are you kidding me?
I never hit you in the head with anything, not even a dinner tray. Selina may be saying that she saw something like that happen, but in her old age, I'm sure her eyes are not 20/20, right?
I can't believe this. It's like you're not even human anymore, that's how screwed up your head is. Not only are you just an awful mother-in-law, but at this point, I think you're better off being locked up in some asylum for the way you're behaving.
Ah, are you trying to make fun of me now? I'll take you to court as well over something like that.
I'm sure you may have forgotten this, but the room you hit me in the head with that dinner tray in happens to be the same room you installed that camera in to watch me. So, that night when I came back to the house, I went and saved all the recordings on that camera to my phone. And so, the evidence of you hitting me really hard over the head with that dinner tray, and all the blood that came out of me after, is saved on my phone.
So that's why you had all those people at the time moved over into the other room to relax for a bit.
That's right. I was thinking it'd be the best place to do it since you probably wanted to keep all your actions a secret from everyone else. However, I never thought you'd end up assaulting me in any way when I chose to take a small break on the sofa.
Then what about the place that Selina ended up hitting me in the head at?
You had that happen to you back in that other room, where there is no camera installed at. Jennifer, you keep talking about how someone like Selina hit you in the head the same way as you hit me, but are you sure something like that really took place?
You'd better stop messing around. Well, it's all going to be okay. There may be no video evidence, but there were a ton of other bystanders in the room at the time that witnessed what happened to me. I'll ask them all to come and help me, and then I'll have the two of you ruined for the rest of your lives.
And I hope that all goes well for you.
Hey, you! What the hell have you said to Isaiah about this? Also, when it comes to my husband, did you say something to him as well?
What do you think I said to them?
I am not here to play games with your stupid butt anymore. I was told by my son just a little bit ago that he wants to cut ties to me forever.
Well, that just happens to be because someone like him does not like the fact that you treated his wife horribly and even hit her in the head with a tray, sending her into the hospital, right? You can relax now because I didn't do or say anything to him that would make him want this.
Stop it with all your bullcrap. Then tell me about my husband then. My husband is asking to get a divorce from me now after what you've done.
And I'd like to think that it's for the same reason as Isaiah had. I believe that your husband was on his last leg with you, And what you did to me was the last straw and made him want to jump ship. Jennifer, I understand that you were going to look for people to back you up over this, but it seems everyone just wants to cut ties with you. Well, that's only natural of all of them. You've been a total jackass this entire time.
What? No matter what you say, this is all your fault. I was just trying to fix you because you are a terrible wife and woman, yet now everyone is trying to leave me. Why me? The only terrible wife in this family is you, Jennifer. You? What do you want from me, you old witch? Look at that. The moment people start to do and say things you don't like, you begin to call them bad names like old witch. You are the one that did many things wrong and are being punished for them, but are too self-centered to even take a moment to reflect on that. I can't believe it, though. You haven't changed one bit from the monster you were in the past. I am speechless. You are always trying to act like you're better than everyone else. Do you think you're the perfect woman? Sure. I'm not perfect, but I sure am better than you. I happen to not be the one with fingers pointed at her for picking on and assaulting her daughter-in-law. Shut up! You have heard about how my son will be divorcing you now, right? In other words, that means you and I will never have to talk to one another ever again. Thank you for what little you offered. Goodbye forever now. What is this? You came all the way out to contacting me just to say something as BS as that? If anything, you're the one with far worse heart than me. Right. After all, I was so bad that you would start calling me an old witch again. Well, I hate being called something like that, and that's why I'm really pissed off with you now. And that is the reason why I will not make things easy for you, and I will make sure that when this is all said and done, you will no longer be able to touch my family ever again. And will go rot in hell with the rest of this world's evil. Ugh! I've had enough with you all messing around with me. So with that, goodbye forever.
Jennifer, can you please stop walking all over outside my house like that? We have all cut ties to you already, so you need to give up and go away.
Why, Morgan? That house is the place I'd been living in for the past 30 years. I'm asking you to please forgive me. Please just let me back into your lives.
This was not the choice I ended up making, Jennifer. You are the one that lost your husband after he divorced you, and so there's nothing I can do to help get things back to the way they were. Just go back to your parents' house or something to live the rest of your life.
I don't want to, though. I want to be back living in that house with you. I will apologize for everything I did to you, so please forgive me. I'm asking you to please help me.
It's not going to happen now. And there's nothing I can do to help you after all the trouble you started. Now, if you are going to continue standing outside our house all day causing us trouble, I'm going to have to call the police and have them take you away.
No! Please don't call the police on me now. I won't do anything to you guys, all right? Okay? I'll go away soon.
Wait, Jennifer? Have you done something bad that might get the police to take interest in you?
No, I haven't done anything wrong. I just don't want to deal with the police right now. They scare me, that's why.
Well, I understand there being people that get nervous when they see the police. It's just a natural thing, but... Jennifer, if you've done something wrong that they might be after you for, you should just turn yourself in and confess to it.
I told you I haven't done anything wrong, though, so you don't have to worry about me. So, with that being said, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me?
Asking me to forgive you? Well, based on what the rest of the family is saying about you, I'd rather not have anything to do with you anymore. So please just understand that and go!
But what if I do seriously change my ways this time and make sure to treat you very well?
The problem is, no matter how many times you try and change yourself to get us to take you back, you'll just start being a complete witch again. After all, you complained to over 100 different high-end hotels about their service and cleanliness. So I'm sure you'll never stop complaining, right? After that, I went ahead and blocked my mother-in-law's phone number, and since then I haven't heard a thing from her. However, she continued to come by our house quite often to take a look at us and what we were up to. So I had the police called on her, and since then I've never had to see her around our house anymore. I am a little bit worried that she has been up to something no good, and that's why she was so nervous about having the police called on her. But as I was watching the news, wondering about what happened to her, a story came on about how she had been arrested by them. And the reason she was arrested was for purse snatching. She seemed to have been taking all kinds of things out of people's purses and would sell them to pawn shops for quick money. That wasn't all, though. She had also had an expired driver's license while driving her car around town, which only added to her problems. I really have no idea why things ended up this badly for her and why she chose to do things that were illegal in the end. But it made me laugh seeing her be arrested for that. After being arrested and taken to court, she was forced to pay a huge settlement to all the victims of her purse-snatching antics, as well as a fine for driving with an expired license. At that point, it seemed that Jennifer had truly been defeated as she had lost all her money. And so she left town and went back to her hometown looking for help. As of right now, she's at her older sister's house living with her and her husband, and hasn't done anything to get herself into any more trouble since. I really hope that something like that means she is finally settling down and will finally change her ways of being a witch into someone people can actually love. However, only a month after moving in with her sister, things only got worse as she began to start selling things of her sister's at the pawn shop. And when her sister caught on, her sister's husband went and forced Jennifer out of the house. Jennifer had tried to plead for them to let her back in because at the time she was forced out in only her bathrobe. But they knew better than to do that and called the police on her once again. This time, however, when she was taken into custody, they didn't go as easy on her when she had to go to court and was sentenced to 6 months in jail for theft, which caused her to bawl her eyes out. I guess she really didn't even learn after one time dealing with the law. So hopefully a second time and time spent in a jail cell will put her right. Because if not, she might just end up having to live there for the rest of her life. If not, kill her for messing with the wrong people next time. As for my family and I, ever since Jennifer was kicked out of this house, things have become a lot more peaceful for me. And right now I'm living in a much more relaxed life as a housewife with my husband and my father-in-law. And when it comes to Selina, I'm forever grateful that she helped me fight Jennifer when I had had enough of her. I like to still have her over with the rest of the family and friends quite often still, as a way of thanking her. However, these times I don't force myself to work a ton, and instead have a seat with all of them every once in a while to talk and relax.
Ken, thank you for going through and examining everything for us. Everyone within the company is very pleased with your work, and even the higher-ups are talking a lot now. I had never wanted to work with you, Ken, and it made me upset having you around with us since we should be able to handle this work on our own. But the work you have put in has helped us a lot so far, and I look forward to eventually getting this project completed. Well, I still have to talk with some of my people about all of this. So I can't say everything for now, but I don't want any of my work to affect you after you and I have known one another since high school. So I plan to do only what I can here without it becoming a problem. Thank you, Ken. I'm glad to see that you're still so considerate of me. And another thing, your wedding is coming up soon, right? Congratulations on that. Have you gotten the invitation from me yet? I feel a bit embarrassed asking that, actually. And I have already invited a bunch of other people from back in high school. So I bet this will feel more like a class reunion than an actual wedding for everyone. A class reunion, huh? There's no problem with that. I'm looking forward to this wedding class reunion. If this whole business discussion that we've had ends up falling through in the end, you and I are still friends, right? Of course, man. I'm not gonna get work mixed up in our personal life, okay? Thank you, Ken. I'm the kind of guy that likes to regard all of his friends as more important than his work, actually. No, I'll be looking forward to that wedding of yours. And I'll make sure to reply to your invitation before then.
Can I talk with you for a moment, Ken?
This must be Joshua's wife, right?
That's right. I plan to have a surprise ready for him, and so I've made a group chat for all of us to discuss it in. And in that group chat, I heard a few things about you from someone. Is it true that you never went to college?
Yes.
Well, if that's really the case for you, then I think it may be a mistake having you at the wedding. What do you think?
Can you tell me what all of this is about right now? I did skip out on going to college, but...
Well, Ken, you do realize that Joshua is part of the elite, right?
Yeah, I understand that. I think out of all my friends from back in high school, he was the one that tried his hardest.
Then, do you think you can take a moment to think about who you are compared to him?
Who am I compared to him?
There's no way a high school graduate would ever be friends with someone that's elite, right? And do you think that you can come to his wedding when you're not his real friend? Well, that's ridiculous, right?
Wait, what? Is this you trying to say that because I never went to college, you don't want me coming to your wedding?
Well, to say it straight, yes. I want to know why you think you can even come to the wedding. And what would you even do if you came?
I never thought I'd be told something like that. Mariah, are you sure it wasn't just Joshua that told you I graduated from high school and finished my education there?
He wasn't the one that told me.
So that means he's not the one telling you these sorts of things, and making you feel as though you need to mess with me for it. Well, if he has nothing to do with this, and hasn't said anything about me not going to college, then don't you think you should stay out of it, considering you're not my friend?
Shut up, Ken. You're just a garbage loser.
Excuse me?
I went through and checked to see where everyone graduated from college. And I had heard from a friend in that surprise group chat about you. But I never thought that in his group of all his good buddies, you were there and never even managed to get a higher education. If you were to come to our wedding as the loser you are, then the whole wedding would go to waste. You don't want to ruin your friend's important wedding, do you? Well, if you don't want to, then give up on coming and stay away.
Give up on coming? But I was given an invitation by Joshua to be there. I've already called and said that I'll be coming. And so I have a seat prepared for me.
Then call and say you're not feeling too well and that you can't come or something like that. If you can't make up some kind of excuse, then just don't show up and say nothing.
I will not do something so rude.
Are you not aware that you coming to the wedding would be way more rude of you?
No, you stop all of that, please. I've never heard of anyone telling a guest they can't come to their wedding because they never went to college. I'm happy that you're worried about Joshua that much, but if you keep trying to get me to stay away, I'm gonna have to tell him.
If you come to the wedding, you're going to regret it, surely. So I think you should stop now before you become more embarrassed than you've ever been before.
I'm done talking now.
You idiot. By now you have to understand me, right? A loser that's never gone to college should never come to this wedding.
Don't you feel like you've gone too far now as the bride? You just poured beer all down my head and body because you think it's okay to look down on me?
Well, you are a loser, right? And my husband does not need to be friends with a low-life garbage.
I know that you're on your high chair now thinking you've won, but was there really any merit to you doing this? This is a bit difficult to ask, but don't you feel like a huge idiot yourself now?
Say whatever you'd like, Ken. I'm married to an elite man and will become a celebrity myself now in his world. And now that we are going to become a power couple, we have to rethink who our true friends should be. We wouldn't want people that are scummy to be around my husband and I in case they ever start coming to us asking for our large amounts of money or something. So that's why I'm making sure we cut ties with all his loser friends right now.
So this is you trying to protect Joshua from me? Or rather, you're trying to protect his money? Do you think by doing this, Joshua will be happy with you?
You losers are all so annoying to talk to.
And do you think anyone that's never been to college is an automatic loser? I think you, finding that someone who's never gone to college to be a loser, is a bit immature of you.
Say whatever you want to, as you've already lost. My elite husband will have no friends that never choose to make themselves useful in this society. Having beer spilled all over you should have opened your eyes to that, and now you can leave, right?
Then, I'm gonna do as you wish and go home.
I won't.
I was in the middle of handling Joshua's company's finances and properties, but you could tell him that I'll be ending my work with him for good now.
Huh?
I'll let him know myself as well, but you should also let him know the good news. Tell him that you poured beer all over his friend and partnering company's CEO. Then tell him to leave, as well as ruin his chances of creating any sort of business between the two companies.
Hold on a sec. What are you saying? Poured beer all over his partner company's CEO?
I'm talking about myself. I'm the CEO of his company he was partnering with. Understand?
What the hell are you talking about? There is absolutely no way a loser that never went to college and got a degree could ever become a CEO.
Well, I have become one. I was the one that started this company, and did so well with my work that it's huge now. And because of all my work, I live a life where I don't have to be called a loser, or a lowlife. As everyone else was using their money and loans to go to college and get a higher education there, I used my money and time to make a company, and put all my blood and sweat into it.
Wait a second, are you serious? You are an actual CEO?
That's right, Mariah. And Joshua was given a project that requires a lot of work, and was asked to partner with my company to start looking into how to get that project completed, with all our combined strengths. And while him and I were working on discussing things like the finances going into the work, he invited me to come to his wedding. But now I'm gonna have to cancel all our talks about partnering up, after what you've done.
Huh? Cancel your talks? What do you mean by all of that?
A lot of the people at the wedding are involved with those talks, and the project that's supposed to be worked on. But now that I'm not willing to do any more work with Joshua and his company, this was a huge loss. I'm sure when they hear the news of that here soon, they'll all walk out of the wedding as well. And I don't blame them, considering they'll have just lost a chance to make some major income with my company's help.
You're lying, right? There's no way this is anything other than a prank, right?
Why would I joke about this? I already told your husband, by the way. I told him that our talks are over.
Wait, Ken? He is really pissed with me right now. He's going off about how he's going to have this whole wedding canceled now and all that. That makes no sense.
It makes total sense, Mariah. Because of you, you just ruined a huge business deal. And I'm sure this is gonna cause him a great deal of trouble now when he has to go in and talk with his boss about this. And any chance of him getting a promotion or raise is out the window now. So him being pissed about all of this is totally normal.
So that's the reason? Why? I never knew a thing about the work you did in your position there. That's the only reason I was a small bit rude to you.
A small bit, you say? Are you sure about that? I feel you were more than a small bit rude to me, Mariah.
But that was all because of me being a bit rude, right? None of what happened between you and I had anything to do with his job.
And one could definitely see it that way.
So don't treat this as a reason to punish him and get back to making that business deal.
But I'm the kind of business owner that finds the relationship among people as very important. I was working with the company he's in to help make my company some money, but I was also doing it because he's an old friend of mine from high school. But seeing that you're the kind of woman he's willing to be married to, I don't think I want to work with him any longer. So I'm going to stop all efforts to make any deal with him, and will not be around to aid in his company's project.
You can't just do that to him because of someone like me, though. I just thought that you were some kind of low-life idiot, and...
And you used that as your excuse to pour beer all over me? You really thought it was okay to do something as rude as that then, huh? That kind of thinking is a real shame.
I didn't mean for things to end up this way, though. Right now, Joshua knows about what's happened and is really considering ending this whole wedding. If he goes through with it, then my special day will be ruined. And I bet that he'll even want to end things between him and I.
Well, if that's what he'd like, then I'll support him.
What are you saying? You're a jerk, Ken. Don't you want to become good friends with him again and get to know me a bit more now? This is all your fault for all this happening, so you should be trying to save things between us now.
Oh, please. Was I the one talking down to myself and pouring beer all over my head today? You acting like not knowing the kind of person I am was a good excuse for doing all that is not going to work. Is pouring beer onto someone you don't know normal to you, Mariah?
Even still, I was worried like hell about things. I wanted to make sure that my wedding would be perfect, but you were here.
So you thought pouring beer on me would make your wedding perfect? I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're trying to say right now. What would you like me to do?
Come back here and make everyone calm down.
Huh? Me?
Tell them that you spilled that beer on yourself and that I'm a great person. And then follow up by saying you'll continue to work on the business deal and that this wedding should get back underway. If you tell them all that, they'll listen, right? Explain that this was all a misunderstanding.
You know that everyone is aware that this is what you wanted, right? Now, I'll be going.
Wait! Are you really planning to leave me behind when I'm in this much trouble?
Leave you behind? I was never with you in the first place, right? Do you not remember what you've done to me today?
Please, just forgive me. I will do whatever it takes to make sure that this wedding gets back on track.
Oh, is that so?
Joshua is an elite employee working for an amazing company. I already bragged about being with him to all my friends and family. And now my friends and family have been bragging about me to other people. They all think of me as the girl that was chosen by a man with a lot of money.
Mariah, that to me seems like you only want to marry him because of his money and job.
Huh?
You want to be with him because you could brag, right? You could brag all you want because he's an elite, right? I'm sure that someone like you will even end up cheating on him one day.
What the hell are you talking about? If he and I end up getting a divorce, it'll be all your fault. It's because you told everyone that the business deal was off that this is all happening.
Well, if that's what you think, why did you go ask Joshua what he thinks? If you both think the same thing, that I'm to blame for all of this, then I'll be willing to make things right again for you both. But I don't think he sees it that way. I'm sure he won't divorce you though, because he still loves you. And that's why he married you. So really, it's you that wants to leave him now because he'll have no chance of getting a promotion and making even more money, right? Maybe it's time you go have that chat with him, Mariah.
Can you please just come here and help us figure this all out?
No, thank you.
Why not? I'm asking you to help me and you're saying no thank you?
What you did today was completely stupid, and you need to be punished for that. And I will not help you avoid said punishment.
You won't help me. You're lying, right? I was finally going to start my dream life as a married woman.
You go and try your best talking with your now upset husband, okay? I'm not going to be seeing you anymore now, I believe. But you should be pretty upset with yourself for calling me a low-life loser, because I never went to college, right? Even though I'm really on the same level, if not higher than your elite husband, right? If you have really had all that time to judge others and have such a bias, then maybe you should have used that time to make yourself into a better person. Good luck trying to find another man to marry you after this.
In the end, Mariah and Joshua didn't even bother talking things through, and the wedding was called off, leaving all the guests that arrived even more upset. Joshua spoke with his family about what happened, and they all agreed that she was only with him because of his money, and so he ended up divorcing her. After the divorce was finalized, Joshua went back to Ken to tell him he was thankful for helping him open his eyes to the true person that Mariah was, and made sure that they were both still friends. Ken did cancel the talks their companies had with one another, but now that Mariah was no longer with Joshua, Ken got back to work making an agreement between them to work on that project. And this time, it seems like those talks will work out and a contract will be formed. It really was a great thing that the marriage between Joshua and Mariah fell apart. As for Mariah, after the divorce, she no longer had a place to call home, and her parents kicked her out as well, so she's been having to live on the streets now. Such a poor thing, but that's the punishment she needed to be rewarded with.
Hey Hilda, how's it going? I feel like we haven't talked in forever. How has life been treating you? I just wanted to reach out because I just learned how old you are. Man, I have to say that I was just shocked. I mean, don't you worry about your age ever? You should probably start looking into a retirement home or something at this point, don't you think? Just how many vitamins are you having to take a day just to stay functional?
Sorry, this is the reason you wanted to message me, Lindsay? I guess I just really don't know what to say at all. I was going to congratulate you on your wedding, though. I mean, I really didn't see my brother getting married so soon after he started his new job.
Well, I guess he must have learned from watching you what he didn't want to be.
And just what might you mean with that statement just then, Lindsay?
I mean that you're way older than him and you're still not married. You think he wanted that life for himself after seeing you go through it? I just don't get it, Hilda. How are you not married yet? I get that you're really into your job and that's all you think about and everything, but you think that you would have at least met one other person to be in a relationship with? I don't know how I could live with myself if I were you. It must feel just absolutely soul-crushing to be a woman of age and know that you have no one special to come home to after work. I just don't know how I'd ever be able to do something like that.
I really don't feel that way at all, if you must know. I don't have any problem at all with not being married. I'm actually very happy with my life like this, and I don't really feel the need to go out and do something like that. And just what's the rush to get married anyways? That's something that I've never been able to understand about this craze for getting married so young. I mean, even my little brother Sam, who you're married to now, was already talking about how badly he wanted to get married as soon as he got out of college. I just really don't get what the point of wanting to rush into something like that is. It seems like it would make way more sense for something like that to come naturally.
What's the point in waiting to get married any longer after you've already secured a job? That's just what comes next in any adult life. First, you get a job, then you get married, then you have kids, So as you can see, you have a lot of catching up to do, you old hack.
Okay, Lindsay, I don't know why you're even acting so surprised about my age. After all, you are 25 years old, aren't you? So I get why you would want to marry a young man like my brother. But you do realize that he's still technically a college student, right? He was only given his job offer, but he literally hasn't even started working yet.
And so what if I'm 25 years old? It's about making the most of the time while you have it. And I'm not going to let myself go to waste just to end up some shriveled up old hack like you. I honestly don't even know how you can live with yourself the way you are. It's just sad, really. I mean, don't you have any shame about your life at all?
I really think that you're being quite rude to me right now. I don't want to get married. I don't see the point in getting married so early, and I think those are both perfectly fair points to hold. If you're getting married because it's something you both want to do, then I think that is just great, Lindsay. I mean, I've talked to Sam about this, and even he can't believe that he's getting married so young. But as long as you both are happy, I don't have any kind of objections.
You don't know what you're talking about at all. Sam was never nervous about marrying me. He was nervous about whether or not he was going to be offered his job or not. He knew that I wanted to quit mine and become a housewife, so he knew that this marriage wouldn't work unless he had a job first. And now I'm going to get married and live my dream life. Especially compared to you, now I want to have to grind myself down to nothing for some company that doesn't care at all about me. Does that sound familiar, Hilda? I'm really sorry if it does. I didn't mean to touch a nerve. Maybe you should have just swallowed your pride and gotten married when you were younger and had a chance to.
Right, well, I am glad that you and Sam are so sure about this wedding working out then. I suppose that I'll see you at the wedding itself then.
Wait a second. What do you mean you're going to see us at the wedding? Don't tell me that you are going to come to Sam and I's wedding.
Well, yes, he is my little brother after all. I was very much planning on being there if you really want to know.
So you're really going to come to the wedding then? You're being serious about that? You are actually going to be present at the wedding? That is going to be held between Sam and I? Just what the heck do you think you're even going to do there at the wedding, huh? What would even be the point of you showing up?
I'm not quite sure that I understand what you mean by that. I mean, like I just said, it's my little brother's wedding. I was going to go there so that I could help him celebrate and be with my family to watch him get married. Does that really not make any sense to you?
But to do what? Why are you going to be there? I want to know what exactly is it in your plan on doing at Sam and I's wedding.
I am really sorry to keep asking, Lindsay, but I really am not sure about what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by what do I intend to do there. I was just going to participate like everyone else and help you both celebrate. Does that make sense to you?
So you're really just going to show up to a wedding for young people and not be slightly embarrassed about all of that? Even though you're so old and unmarried? You do know that basically everyone there is going to be in their 20s, don't you? There isn't a place for you with that kind of crowd, Hilda. Just think about it. You're already in your 30s. You won't understand a word of our slang and you'll complain that the music is too loud and that your back hurts. There will just be too big a generation gap between you and the other guests.
I am sure that a lot of your and Sam's friends are going to be there and that they are going to be a fair bit younger than I am. But I imagine your families are also invited to be there, right? So I'm going to go there as part of the family and be there for my little brother's wedding, okay? I really am not going to the wedding to try and make friends with your friends or anything like that, if that was what you were worried about. But either way, I really don't care about how old anyone is there because that isn't even what the wedding is about, right?
Of course that's what the wedding is about. How can you say it doesn't matter how old you are? You really don't think that you can just come and that you won't cause any problems for the wedding, right? Do you have dementia or something? Is that why you're thinking this way?
Lindsay, I really think that you are going too far with all of these insults, and I would appreciate it if you stopped it. I have already talked to Sam about this, and he knows that I intend to be there for the wedding. I am his family. I am his older sister, and I have a right to be there whether you like it or not.
You really think it's your right to be at the wedding? You must have hit your head or something. Why on earth do you think that this is how it works at all? You really are too much. You're an unmarried 30-year-old woman. As far as I'm concerned, you've already given up all your rights.
So you're not really going to try and meet me halfway or compromise on this at all? You do realize that all you're doing is getting yourself in deeper and deeper trouble at this point, don't you?
There you go again, just talking this nonsense. You really shouldn't forget to take your pills, Grandma. And just what do you know about me, huh? What makes you think that I'm getting into any trouble?
This whole conversation is just getting rather ridiculous for me, Lindsay. I don't want to be insulted by you anymore. Let me just say that I am going to be at the wedding, but I am more than happy to avoid you and your friends if you are so concerned that my presence is going to be a problem there.
You really have some nerve showing up to this wedding of youth, do you know that? I really didn't think that I'd see you. I had hoped that you were sufficiently warned the last time that we talked, but I guess I didn't go far enough, did I? I should have known that I would have had to repeat myself way more for a brittle old woman like you to get what I was saying through your thick skull.
You keep making fun of my mental acuity, but what about you? Did you hit your head or something? Just what on earth made you think that doing that was a good idea? Why would you do something like that?
If you were looking for someone to blame, you can start with yourself. You can start with yourself. You know that I warned you not to come before, and yet you decided to show up anyways. You were practically asking for it.
What are you talking about, Lindsay? What did I even do that was wrong? I don't understand it all. All I wanted to do was be there for my little brother on his wedding day. But instead, you run up to me and punched me right in the gut. I felt like I was about to puke. Did you know that? I could hardly breathe after that. Why would you hit someone and act so violently on your own wedding day? You're a terrible person, do you know that? I had no idea you were capable of something like that.
Oh, please. Don't make such a big deal over it. I barely even hit you that hard. I just wanted to pay you back a little for not listening to me when I told you not to come. If you chose to run away from the venue like you did, then that's also on you. Don't you dare try to put the blame on me for any of this. Do you understand?
You still assaulted me. You do realize that that's illegal, don't you? Why would you even want to act that violently at your own wedding? I just don't understand it at all.
Oh, please. Quit being such a big baby. I must have forgotten I was dealing with a fragile old woman when I hit you, but I told you that this wedding was going to be for young people only, and that you weren't welcome here.
Can you please just stop with this younger than you business? It is seriously annoying, and you have taken it way too far now. I get that when you're young, you might think that you're on top of the world and that you look down on old people. But you are taking this way too far and just being unreasonable now. I have tried to be patient with you as my brother's fiancé. But even I have my limits, and you have most certainly crossed them. I mean, the fact that I even have to explain to you that it's wrong to hit people. It's just ridiculous. You're crazy, do you know that? Why would you do something like this?
Oh, please. How dare you try to lecture me? Just because you're older doesn't mean that you're wiser or smarter than me, or that you can boss me around. You're just jealous because you're almost 10 years older than your little brother, and you're still not married. You were making the whole venue smell like mothballs and old people. That's why I had to think of something to get you out of there as fast as I could. You were ruining everything with your horrible oldness.
Okay, this is just stupid. I don't have to put up with this. If you're really going to act in this way, then I think I'll just go home. You're not worth the effort at all. Do you realize that?
Well, good. Get out of here. You were never ever welcomed here to begin with. I hope you didn't forget your walker for your trip home, you old hag. Leave and never come back. You were never even wanted here in the first place.
I don't even know why you're insisting that this wedding is for young people only. That really doesn't even make sense with our parents all here as well.
Well, of course our parents were going to go home, but only because I have them special permission and told them it was okay. Something that I specifically didn't say to you.
You are seriously just delusional if you think that any of this makes sense or that this is any way to treat another person. I just can't even deal with you anymore. So I'll do as you say and just go home then. But you better know that you are going to regret what you've done to me and that nothing you're saying is going to change what happens next. Don't say that I didn't warn you.
There you go again with your melted brain rumblings. You really think that you can do anything to me at all? The only thing that I regret is not kicking you out of here sooner. I should have tossed you out the moment I saw you.
Right, then I guess I'll just be heading off. I've had enough of this from you. You're a horrible woman. You'll make a horrible wife. And I would be surprised if you even make it through the wedding.
Pick up the phone right now. Can't you see that I've been calling you this whole time? Why wouldn't you answer your phone? I thought that old people were supposed to love talking on the phone and hated texting. So when you see that you're getting a call from me, you pick it up right away, got it? Things are falling apart here and I want an explanation for what's going on.
Oh, are things not going so well for you at your wedding? I'm terribly sorry to hear that. But don't say that I didn't warn you. And you have got to be joking if you think that I'd ever want to talk to you on the phone after the way you treated me today. I would rather lose my hearing.
Please, don't be like this. Lindsay, I'm really serious. This is an emergency. Please, you have to help me.
I don't understand what you want me to do now. I did just as you said and left your wedding to go home. That is what you wanted me to do, isn't it?
So then you really did go all the way back home. Why would you do that? What's the matter with you? I need you to get back here to the wedding venue right this second.
You really want me to come back and be at your wedding even after you punched me in the gut? Are you sure about that, Lindsay? You really must be one of the most selfish women that I've ever met. I don't think I've ever known someone as self-centered and crazy as you are.
Please, Hilda. We don't have time for this. Just get back here right now. Things are seriously falling apart and I really, really need you right now. It's an emergency, okay?
I suppose the emergency is that my brother heard what you did and that's why the whole wedding is falling apart around you, isn't it? Or maybe he heard about you wouldn't stop making fun of me and saying all kinds of horrible things to me. But all the while, you had no idea that I was actually the president of the company where Sam got his job. You really are a moron. Do you know that? You were already stupid for assaulting someone for no reason. But you didn't even realize the mistake you were making.
But how was I supposed to know that you were the president of the company that Sam got his job offer from? I seriously had no idea what you even did for a living. And Sam never ever mentioned that he only had his job because of his connection to you. He never told me so. How was I supposed to know? None of this is my fault. But I heard that you told Sam that you were going to take back your job offer to him. Please, you can't do that to him for something that I did. This isn't fair on anyone, right?
And just why isn't it fair for me to do that? I don't want anything to do with a crazy woman like you ever again. You were just horrible, and I want you out of my life as soon as possible. And if I want that to really happen, it means that I have to find every way to cut you out of my life. In this case, that just so happens to include my relationship with Sam too. So, I just can't let him work in my company where I would run the risk of running into or even having to hear about you. It was a pretty cut and dry decision to me.
No, that still doesn't make any sense. I mean, why does Sam have to lose his job just because you don't want to deal with me? Don't you think that's taking things so far?
Sorry, you misunderstand. He's not being fired at all because he still doesn't have the job. We sent him an offer. But there was still a lot of paperwork in between that and him actually working for me. So I withdrew our offer to him and wished him the best of luck in finding another job. Or rather, I think he would rather have had more time to find backup jobs if not for you. I heard that you put most of the work for the wedding planning on him as well. And whenever he said that he wanted to try and focus on job hunting, you would threaten to break up with him. And my brother, being the kind boy that he is, agreed to go along with the wedding plan so that he didn't disappoint you.
I just wanted a husband who was always going to put me first, and I thought that this would be a good way to test him. I didn't want a husband who didn't even have time for a relationship because he was too busy working like you.
Well, you probably could have thought of a better way to go about that. Because if Sam doesn't have a job, then you're not going to be able to be a housewife like you always wanted to be.
Please, you can't do this. Please, don't take away your brother's job like this. I promise that I apologize to you for everything that I've said up to now. I really didn't realize what I was doing at all. I only want to marry your brother. Is that really so bad? Haven't you already done enough to ruin my actual wedding? Can't you just leave things as they are and let Sam and I get married in peace without any more drama?
Are you really trying to pin all of this on me right now? Let's not forget that you were the one who ran to me and punched me, okay? You overreacted by several miles, and now you're going to try and pin something that is entirely your fault on me. You seriously need to wake up.
Just shut up, you old hag. You don't know what you're talking about at all. You're ruining my life. You're literally the reason my wedding is falling apart, and you need to do something to fix it right now. I'm really serious.
I don't care how serious you are. I am not going to change my mind. And nothing you say is going to change that at all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go to the police station and file a report against you. So I'll be quite busy with that.
Wait, what? What do you mean you have to go to the police to file a report against me? What does that even mean?
Well, it means that since you assaulted me, I have a right to report you to the police for what you did to me. Do you understand? I go to the police. I tell them that I've been assaulted. I say that it was you, and then they arrest you and look into the incident. Does that make sense?
But wait, you can't be serious about this, right? I mean, you're my sister-in-law. I didn't mean for things to happen like this, but please, we're about to be family, so there's no point in doing this. You don't need to go this far, Hilda. It was just a little joke, that's all.
It certainly didn't feel like a joke when you punched me in the gut. And I have no intention of forgiving you for what you did to me either. We are going to take this to the court and solve this like adults.
So you're really going to sue me then? You're really going to have me arrested too? You know that I wasn't serious about the punch. Please, haven't you already done enough? Why do you have to go this far?
If you think that I'm buying a word that you're saying, you're dead wrong. Why don't you just own up to what you did like an adult?
If I admit what I did was wrong, will you let me go?
Well, now you're just admitting that the only reason you would apologize would be to let go. But it's way too late for that.
Of course it's not too late. Don't say that. Please. All I want to do is get married. You don't have to do this. I didn't even do anything to you. I just got a little carried away.
I would say that you were more than a little carried away. I mean, you literally hit me.
Well, I guess I did technically hit you, yes?
Well, there you have it. And I'm afraid that as long as he's with you, I want nothing to do with my brother either.
Please, I really didn't know about any of this at all. I had no idea that you were the president of Sam's company, and I had no idea that you could just take the offer away from him like that.
Well, it's all very true. But even if it wasn't, it still wouldn't make what you did okay in the slightest. You realize that, don't you? Especially after the shock you gave to everyone over what you did.
Shock? What do you mean? What did I do? Who did I shock?
Well, all of our relatives there who saw you punch me for one.
But I didn't think that anyone was looking at me when I did that.
You didn't think that people at a wedding weren't staring at the bride the entire time? You really are more stupid than I ever thought possible. In the end, the wedding between Sam and Lindsay ended up being canceled, and Sam called off the engagement. In return, I let him keep his job. I did, however, go through with the police report, and Lindsay was arrested for hitting me. Even her parents disowned her for what she did. She tried to beg me for help, but I blocked her number and never heard from her again. I did hear, however, that the police arrived at the wedding venue and arrested her in front of everyone.